Okay, so welcome back, guys. It's been a quite long period, and we have not connected. So, okay. So, as you all know, in our last class, we finished the Route 53, and with that's it. Our complete project regarding the static web hosting is done, and now we are moving further for the next major resource, which is AWS VPC. Basically, this is the networking concept in AWS. Okay, and if you want to create your own resources and make it secure and make it private, definitely you should learn about AWS VPC. It is highly recommended even by the industry experts as well as by the AWS. So let's directly uh, get into the AWS VPC. What is AWS VPC? Okay, as you guys can see here in the definition, it is saying Amazon VPC, which is Virtual Private Cloud. Okay, Virtual VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud, is a logically isolated network where you launch AWS resources such as EC2 instances, databases, and load balancers. These are the resources basically you can launch within a VPC. Okay, so this is just a definition perspective view. I have added a few lines there, like VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud, and it is logically isolated. Logically isolated means, can you guys, are you guys getting this point? Logically isolated. So first up, isolated means it is completely restricted from the outside world. It's a
ସେଟା
specific
ନିଜେ
area.
ବୁଝିଛି
Hmm? କଣ କହିଲ? ଶୁଭିଲାନି।
କହିଲି ନିଜରେ ରହିବ ନା ସବୁ
ରାଇଟ୍।
ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ
ରାଇଟ୍, ସୋ ଆଇସୋଲେଟେଡ୍ ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ନର୍ମାଲି ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି କଥା ହୁଅନ୍ତି ଯାହାକୁ ଆଇସୋଲେଟ୍ କରିଦିଅ ମାନେ କ'ଣ, ତା ସହିତ କେହି ମିଶନି ବା କିଛି ଜିନିଷକୁ ଆଇସୋଲେଟ୍ କରିକି ରଖ, ମାନେ ତାକୁ ବାହାର ବାହ୍ୟ ଜଗତରୁ ତାକୁ ବିଚ୍ଛିନ୍ନ ରଖ, ତାକୁ ଏକା କରିଦିଅ ପୁରା। ତ ଇଏ ସେଇ କଥା କହୁଛି, ଏଟା ହଉଛି ଲଜିକାଲି ଆଇସୋଲେଟେଡ୍ ସିନ୍ସ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ implemented virtually. We are not able to see anything there. That's why they are mentioning this is a logically isolated network where you are going to launch your specific resources like EC2 instance, databases, and load balancer. Okay, think of VPC as your private network inside AWS. Okay, it is your private network within your AWS. And here is a diagram which let's take a look and try to understand further more through this diagram. So basically what happening here? Here uh, through the internet, okay, now you guys can see there is a resource here. Okay, this is the first resource, internet gateway. Okay, and how the traffic is getting routed to your AWS account. Here is internet, the from where the traffic got generated, and it hit the internet gateway, which is basically associated or the gateway to your AWS environment, okay, which is basically the VPC. And within that VPC, you guys can see there is a public subnet and then private subnet, there is somewhere it's app server, web server, and database. No worries, guys. We are going to check everything, every point or every component in detail. Okay, but just for your better basic understanding, whenever you are going to access your VPC or the resources, whatever present within your VPC, definitely you need to have a internet connectivity, which is internet gateway. Through this, okay, you can access your resources within a VPC from the internet. ବୁଝିହେଲା ଡାଇଗ୍ରାମ କ'ଣ ଥିଲା? ବହୁତ ସାରା କମ୍ପୋନେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ପବ୍ଲିକ ସବନେଟ୍, ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ସବନେଟ୍ କ'ଣ ଆମେ ପୁରା ଡିଟେଲରେ ପଢିବା। ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ ଗେଟୱେ କ'ଣ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ବି ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା। ବଟ୍ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ର ଡାଇଗ୍ରାମ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଥିରେ ସେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛି କି ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟରୁ ଯଦି ତମ ଭିପିସି ଭିତରକୁ କେହି ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ସେ କ'ଣ କରିବ? ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ ଗେଟୱେ ଥ୍ରୋରେ ହିଁ ଯିବ, ହେଲା। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ବେସିକ ଭିପିସି ଆର୍କିଟେକ୍ଚର। ଓକେ, ବୁଝିପାଇଲ? ଏବେ କେଭେ ବି ଭାବନି ଯେ କି ତମକୁ କୌଣସି ଡେଫିନେସନ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ କରିବାର ଅଛି। ୟୁ ଡୋଣ୍ଟ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ ଏନି ଡେଫିନେସନ, ୟୁ ଜଷ୍ଟ understand the concept. Okay, why I'm saying so? Because in interview in real time, no one is going to ask you, tell me the definition of VPC. No, no, that's not the truth. They might ask you, as per you, can you explain what VPC does? or what you have observed from the VPC. Then at that point you can say, okay, so VPC basically, if we create a VPC in any region, okay, under a AWS account, then that means we are isolating some network spaces for our specific resources which we will be creating within that. And if anyone wants to access to those resources, by default those are not accessible by the internet. If someone, I am allowing someone to access those resources from the internet, then definitely I need to attach a internet gateway. Okay, everything we will be looking into next later. Now let's get into the important components of VPC. So first thing you see, the first component is VPC itself, right? It is the VPC itself. Then comes our VPC itself,
Sub.
then subnets. Okay. So basically what it is saying, under VPC, we are having VPC, subnets, then route tables, then internet gateway, then NAT gateway, security groups, network ACL, which is basically NACL, NACL, we usually call it in abbreviated form, NACL, then elastic IP, then VPC endpoints, DHCP end options, DNS. Okay, DNS basically not belongs to the VPC, but it is partial. Why? Because when it comes to accessing some resource, then definitely we need to consider the DNS component there. Okay,
Yes.
ବୁଝିହେଲା ତ ଏତିକି ସାରା କମ୍ପୋନେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଆମର VPC ଭିତରେ, ବୁଝିଲ, କନଫ୍ୟୁଜ ହୁଅନି କି ଡରିବାର ନାହିଁ, ବା ଇଏ କିଛି ନୁହଁ, ଜଷ୍ଟ ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଲାଇନ ଜିନିଷ, ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟେଟମେଣ୍ଟରେ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ ଜିନିଷ ହେଲା। କିନ୍ତୁ ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ ବୁଝିବା ବହୁତ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ, ମୁଁ କହିଛି, ଯଦି ବୁଝିବନି ନେଟୱାର୍କ କନଫିଗରେସନରେ ତମେ ଇସ୍ୟୁ ଫେସ୍ କରିବ ହିଁ କରିବ ହେଲା। ତାପରେ ଆସିଲା ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ, now let's take a look at the example CIDR. Okay, here this is CIDR. I have already shared a recording or video with you guys. I hope you have, or you all have must gone through that one, right? CIDR, what is CIDR? Can anyone tell me what the CIDR
Classless
stands for? Classless
interdomain routing.
interdomain routing, right?
Yes.
What does mean by classless?
Okay, what does mean by the classless? Okay, so when you check the CIDR and those all stuff, right? At that point, you must have uh, informed about the various types of IP, right? Public IP, private IP, and then there are types of subnetting mask, right? Network ID, host ID. Did you have gone through those steps too, or only you just watched the CIDR? ପୁରା ଚେକ୍ କରିଥିଲ କି ନା କେବଳ ଖାଲି CIDR, what is CIDR ସେତିକି ଦେଖିଥିଲ?
Normally, ମାନେ CIDR normally କେମିତି use କରାଯାଉଛି ସେଠି ମାନେ bit wise ଦେଖିଦେଇଥିଲି।
Mm-hmm. So basically, to answer your question, why they are saying this is classless, because there is no predefined class. If you look at the IP address, it seems like it belongs to the class A, but you can convert into any other class. Why I'm saying so? Because we know under class A, the CIDR range needs to be, which means if you look at this example, okay, see, here is a IP address, okay, and this IP belongs to which class? Can anyone tell me?
IPv4 site.
Yes, this is definitely, this is version 4, but to which class? There are how many classes of a for IP addresses?
Two classes, V4 and V6
Uh,
site.
those actually, Chinmay, not classes. Those are various different versions. So two versions available, version 4 and version 6, right? But in IPv4, there are five classes. Class A,
Okay.
class B, C, D, and then last one E. Okay, five classes available.
Yeah.
And under every class, there is a specific IP range from this point to that. Let's assume from 1.1.1.1 or 1.0.0.0 to until uh, if you want, I can show you the exact IP ranges. Okay, let's check this out. IPv4 all classes. Now see, there are 5 classes A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, and if you want the range of their IP addresses from 1 to 126, okay, it's not actually 126, it's just one less than 127. Okay, just one less than 127. Up to these, all IP ranges belong to class A. Okay, so the IP range which I show you, it's something like 10.0.0, right? So to which class this belongs? To class A, right? Because if I
Yes.
show you, right, from 1 to 126 all belongs to class A. So 10.0.0 falls into completely your class A range, right? And then class B starting onwards 128. Now you guys might ask me, where is the 127 range? Okay, 127 is
From
blocked by the whole internet organization for specific purposes. That's not available for our usual use cases. Okay, class B goes from 128 to 191, 255, 255, 255, which is less than 192. Okay, then class C 192 to 233, sorry, 223, 255, 255. Are you able to understand what are these things? 255, why it is 25, 255, and why 192.0.0? What does this mean? Are you guys able to understand? Because
IP.
hmm,
IP.
yeah, those are definitely IPs. Uh, but if you have gone through that video which I shared, you must got idea. But okay, let me tell you. Okay, so what exactly happens in the IPs? Okay, if you look at this IP, na, the first one, see 1.0.0 to 126, 255, 255, 255. Okay, so IP is nothing else. It's a combination of your network and the host. Okay, it's a combination of network and the host. In class A, how many networks are available? The fast octet. The fast octet. The fast octet here is who? This one. এটা ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ଜିନିଷଟା? এটা ବହୁତ ମାନେ
ହଁ
କୋର କନସେପ୍ଟ। ମୁଁ
ଶୁଣିବ
ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସେ ଭିଡିଓଟା ସେୟାର କରିଥିଲି। ଯଦି
ଦେଖିଦବୁ ଆଉ
କିଛି
ଭିଡିଓଟା
କିଛି ନାହିଁ, ଯଦି ନ ଦେଖିଛ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ନାହିଁ, ମୁଁ ଏଠି କହିଦଉଛି, ତାପରେ ଯାଇକି ଦେଖିବ ସେଠି
ବୁଝିହଉଛି ଭାଇ ମାନେ
ପ୍ରପରଲି ବହୁତ ଆଇଡିଆ
ନର୍ମାଲି
ଆସିବ।
ଏଇଟା ଏଇଟ୍ ହଁ ମାନେ ଏଇଟା 8 ବିଟ ରେ ଯାଉଛି ତ 4ଟା ବିଟ ମାନେ ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ 256 ଯାଇ ଯାଉଛି ତ ଆମେ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରୁଛେ 02 ତ 255 ହିଁ ଲାଷ୍ଟ କରୁଛୁ ଯୋଉ ରେଞ୍ଜ ଟା
ସୋ ବେସିକାଲି IPv4 ଟା ହଉଛି କଣ ନା, one second. IPv4 is a combination of network ID plus host ID. Okay, so network ID plus host ID. If you look at the class A IP ranges, okay, which started from 1 to 126 to 55. So basically, this is just below 127. Okay, and here, can anyone of you tell me how many network IDs are present and how many host IDs present?
right
Any guess, guys?
don't know
Okay, so here, what basically? one network ID is present and all else are host IDs. All other are host IDs. এটা ମାନେ ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଆଇଡି ହୋଷ୍ଟ ଆଇଡି କଣ ହେଇଥିବ? ନେଟୱାର୍କ ମାନେ କଣ ଆମର ଜିଓ ଏୟାରଟେଲ ତାଙ୍କ ଆଇଡି ଏଗୁଡା? ନା, ଏଟା ତାଙ୍କ ଆଇଡି ହିଁ
ନା
ନୁହଁ। এটা ହଉଛି ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଆଇଡି ପ୍ଲସ ହୋଷ୍ଟ ଆଇଡି। ମାନେ ହୋଷ୍ଟ ଆଇଡି ମୁଁ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ କରୁଛି, ତମେ ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଆଇଡି ବୁଝିଯିବ। ହୋଷ୍ଟ ଆଇଡି ମାନେ ହେଲା, ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି 1.0.0 ଅଛି, ତାପରେ ଇଟ୍ସ ମୁଭ ଫର୍ଦର ଟୁ 126. ଓକେ, can any one of you tell me what would be the next IP in this series? What would be the next IP? Any one of you take a guess.
Next IP 1.00 by 26.
1.001. Either this is right, or tell me which is the right one. 1.1.0.0. Which is the right one?
1 dot. Both are right, maybe.
No, both can't be right. You can go with the both. You have to choose, pick one.
Then first one
Uh,
is right.
no,
No,
So,
second one is right.
no, you are initially correct. The first one is right. This guy is right. So basically कौन ହେଇଛି ଏଠି ନା, ଦେଖ ମୁଁ ଏଟା ବୁଝଉଛି ତମକୁ, ଏ ଜିନିଷଟା ଏଟା ରିମୁଭ କରିଦିଏ। ଏଟା କଣ ହଉଛି ଆମର wrong ହେଲା, this is not right, this is wrong. Why so? Because why we use a IP address or why we pick a IP range? Because we have to configure devices, and I already told you, whenever you need to configure devices, definitely you need IP addresses, otherwise those devices can't communicate over a network,
the
right?
last one is type of hosting, no?
Which one? The 1100?
110, first one. 110 is considered as a part of networking, and one is the hosting part, no?
No, right now I have not segregated that one, so you can't tell what exactly that thing right now. I'm just asking what is the next IP range in this series 1.0.0.0. What is the next IP range in that series? So the next one is 1.0.0.1. And until what it can go? Until what it can go? Until, let's see, 1.0.0.255. After that, what would be the next IP? Can anyone of you tell me?
Last one is 256. Maybe IPv4.
The next one, so Chinmay, you are saying next one is going to be same, and this is going to 256, right? ଏହା ହବ କହୁଛ ତ 256?
Sorry.
Susri, you there? Susri is joined, right?
256.
So silent today. So the next IP is Durga. Any guess? You want to tell me? 1.0.1.0.
But how to know like next IP? What is the next IP?
Because every field,
Hello.
okay? Yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
How to know? How to know? The it's creating the next IP. How to know I'm creating the next IP?
Yeah,
What
that's
is
what
the
I'm
next
telling.
IP? Sorry,
Yeah.
next
So
IP.
in every field, okay, in every field, this is known as a octet. So this is first octet, this one is second, this one is third, and this one is fourth, right? So in every octet, the maximum value is till 255. and the lowest one is 0 to 255. So you can say what is the complete number of values available there? 256. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ? ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ୍ 0 ରୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହବ କେତେ ଯାଏଁ ଯିବ 255 ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ।
55
ତାହେଲେ 0 ବି ଗୋଟେ ନମ୍ବର ମିଶିବ ତା ଦେହରେ, ତ ମିଶିଲେ ସେ କେତେଟା ହଉଛି ଟୋଟାଲ ନମ୍ବର 256। ମୁଁ ଏଠି କଣ କଲି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୋର ଏ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଲା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଏଠି 255 ହେଲି, ମୁଁ ତା ଦେହରେ +1 କଲି, କଣ ହେଇଗଲା 256 ହେଇଗଲା। ତ 256 ଯେତେବେଳେ ହେଇଯିବ, ମୁଁ ତ ଏଠି 256 ଲେଖି ହିଁ ପାରିବିନି ନା, ନେବନି ସେ ଇନପୁଟ। ତାହେଲେ ମୁଁ କଣ କଲି, ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୟାରି ଫରୱାର୍ଡ କଲି କୋଉଠି କି, ଏ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ୍ କୁ। ଏଠି କ୍ୟାରି ଫରୱାର୍ଡ ହେଇ କଣ ହେଇଗଲା, ସେ ହେଇଗଲା 1, ଫେରେ ସିରିଜ ମୂଳଠୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେଲା। ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ? ତ ଏବେ ମତେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କୁହ ହେଲା, କେତେବେଳେ ତମେ ଏଇ ସିରିଜ ଟାକୁ କ୍ୟାରି ଫରୱାର୍ଡ କରିବ? When there will be a situation, or what should be the IP range after which you are going to carry forward this one, the third octet or the second octet? Okay, second octet. Tell me guys, what is the IP range? ओ IP range ପରେ ଏଇ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଫିଲ୍ଡ ଟା 1 ହେଇଯିବ। ସେ IP range ଟା ମତେ କୁହ, ଯଦି ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛ କୁହ ତାହେଲେ।
ସାରେ 250 ଆଉ ଥରେ ସାର୍ ଟିକେ କହିବେ ଏଟା।
ହଁ କୁହ, ତମେ କୁହ, ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ରେକ୍ଟିଫାଇ କରିବା, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ, ଟାଇମ୍ ନିଅ।
ମାନେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଟା ଟିକେ ବୁଝେଇଲନି କଣ?
ହଁ, କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଟା ଥିଲା ଏଇଆ ଯେ କି ମୋ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ହଉଛି କି କେତେବେଳେ ମୋର ଏଇ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ ଟା ନା, ଏଇ ପର୍ସନ ଏ ଲୋକ 1 ହବ। ଯେମିତି ଏଇଠି 0 255 ହେଲା ପରେ ଇଏ 1 ହେଇଗଲା ନେକ୍ସଟ ରେ, ରାଇଟ୍? ତ ମୋର ଏବେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ହଉଛି ଏଇ 0 ଟା କେତେବେଳେ 1 ହବ, କଣ ଆଇପି ରେଞ୍ଜ ଆସିବ ତା ପରଟା ହେଇଯିବ 1 ସେଇ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ ଟା।
ତାହେଲେ ଏଟା 250 ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ 253 या ऐसा कुछ ହେଇଯିବ।
ओके, मते कुह कौन लिखी, फास्ट कौन लिखी 1। ओके, 1 is
हाँ
for there for sure, first octet is untouched, first octet is completely untouched,
1.127 maybe
127. Why are you saying so 127? From where you are getting 127?
because after 2 number, so octet 81 is there, no?
ମୋ क्वेश्चन तुम बुझ पाइलो, ମୋ क्वेश्चन होची एई जो सेकंड फील्ड रे ये अछि, ये केतेबेले 1 हबो?
ଯେତେବେଳେ ମାନେ 125 ପାଖରେ ପୋଜିସନ ରେ 127 ହବ, means ଦୁଇଟା ବିଟ୍ସ डाउन माने कमिला ପରେ
ଥାର୍ଡ ଅପଡେଟ ଟା 255 ରୁ ପରେ ହବ।
କଣ କହିଲ ସୁଶ୍ରୀ? ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ହିଁ ଚେକ୍ କରୁଥିଲି, କାହିଁ ଏତେ ସାଇଲେଣ୍ଟ ବସଛ ଆଜି, ତମ ଭଏସ ହିଁ ଆସୁନି। ଓକେ କୁହ, ତମେ କଣ କହୁଥିଲ କୁହ ଏବେ।
ମୁଁ କହିଲି କି ଯଦି ଥାର୍ଡ ଅପଡେଟ ଟା ଯଦି 255 ରୁ ପରେ ହବ, ନେକ୍ସଟ ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯିବ ସେତେବେଳେ 1 ହବ।
ओके ठीक अच्छे, राइट, पार्शियली राइट, ठीक अच्छे। मु एबे मोर ए सेकंड स्पेस को ब्लैंक रखुची, एठी रखली पॉइंट, तमे कहउछ जे कि थर्ड ऑक्टेट रे मु 255 करी, राइट? कंप्लीटली एग्री, एटा ही ठीक। एबे फोर्थ ऑक्टेट रे कोन हो मते को?
फोर्थ ऑक्टेट रे 255 हबो।
नाइस, वेरी गुड। एटा बुझी पाइलो?
मैक्सिमम मतलब 255 ही ହେଇପାରିବ।
मैक्सिमम 255 ही ହେଇପାରିବ, 255 सेपटी की जीवनी।
मतलब 1 जदी है 255 + 1 256 ही ऑलमोस्ट ହେଇପାରିବ।
हाँ 256 से हेई पारिबोनी। एबे एई जदी मु 1 ऐड करूची, ए सुश्री जो एबे जो नंबर टा कहले 1.0.255 255, मु जदी एबे +1 कोठी करबी, एठी एंड रे होबो +1, राइट? एठी लास्ट रे होबो नि सेटा +1। एबे एठी +1 कले, +1 कले एई वैल्यूटा केते हे होउछ 256 बट मु तो तुम
256
स्टार्टिंग रू कहि जे 256 is not allowed there.
हाँ
So what will happen? 1 is definitely going to carry forward here. Now see,
अच्छा
when I am adding +1 again here, again this octet is going to be 256, which is again restricted. So what will
yes
happen? Then this is going to carry forward to
carry
this
forward
portion.
हाँ
So
right
so 1.1.0.0 बुझीगला एई जिनसटा ए कैलकुलेशन टा सुश्री
right
मे
right
बी
अरे
सुश्री मे बी से वीडियो
ये-
देखिचंती हला सेट सेटे इमिडिएटली धरि पइले जिनसटा आ
ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ
बहुत इंपोर्टेंट
ପଢିଥିଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ କହିଥିଲେ ଯୋଉ CIDR କାଲକୁଲେଟର କଣ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ସେତେବେଳେ
हाँ से अच्छी CIDR कैलकुलेटर भी अच्छी बट कैलकुलेटर यूज करिया पूर्वरु तुमको एई सब जिनसटा जानिबार अछि बुझी पारछ ना
ହଁ
CIDR
ହଁ ହଁ
कैलकुलेटर रा काम हला एट मु देखे दोछि मिले जीवो किछ ना ओके मु टिके परे जिबा हला नहले काई नै सब जिनस मते इरेज करिया पड़ियो बे मु टिके एठी बुझाई दिए तापर तुमको कैलकुलेटर शो कर देबे हला
ହଁ ଆରେ ଏଗୁଡାକୁ ୟୁଜ କୋଉଠି ହବ ଯୋଉ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କଣ ମାନେ ସେ ଯୋଉ ମାନେ
एई जो एबे
ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ
VPC क्रिएट करिबा
आईपी ରେ
ସେଇଠି ହିଁ ଆମେ ସେଇଠି ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରିବା ଏବେ
CIDR ରେ
CIDR ରେ
ହଁ
बेसिकली काहेकि यूज करूछन्ते एबे तो क्वेश्चन आछले यूज करिया बुझी गेले कोठी नाउ कम्स द क्वेश्चन व्हाई वी आर यूजिंग दिस थिंग व्हाई इट इज नीडेड इन ए VPC और
तो सर
एनी
आपको
नेटवर्क
पता
कॉन्फ़िगरेशन
केते आसीबो केते मतलब एम जो 1.00 बाय 256 हबो कि कोन पाई सेठी यदि कम बेसी हमें केमती जानिया जे केते कोन हेटी यूज हबो
राइट ସେଇଟା ହିଁ ତ କ୍ୟାଲକୁଲେସନ ସେଇଟା ହିଁ ହଉଛି ଆମେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଡିସ୍କସନ ଟା ଏବେ
That
କରୁଛନ୍ତି
means
ସେ
ଭାଇ ମାନେ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡସ୍ କରୁଛି ମାନେ କେତେଟା ମାନେ ଆଇପି ଆମେ ଜେନେରେଟ କରିପାରିବା ନା
ରାଇଟ ରାଇଟ क्वेश्चन ଏବେ ଆସିଲା ଦେଖ କଣ ହଉଛି ଜିନିଷଟା ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଏଟାରେ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଟାଇପ ର ହିଁ ବୁଝିବାକୁ ଟ୍ରାଏ କର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆଇପିଜ୍ ଜେନେରେଟ କରାହେଇଥିଲା ଇନିସିଆଲ ଡେଜ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଆଣ୍ଡ ନେଟୱାର୍କିଂ ଆଉ ଏଇ ସଫ୍ଟୱେୟାର ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ବା କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଡେଭଲପ କରୁଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ଇନିସିଆଲ ଟାଇମରେ ଆମେ କଣ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଅଲୱେଜ ୟୁଜ ଟୁ ଅଣ୍ଡରଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ 1 and 0 ରାଇଟ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଇଜ ଓନଲି ଫ୍ଲେକ୍ସିବଲ ୱିଥ 1 and 0 ରାଇଟ ତ 1 and 0 ରେ ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫ୍ଲେକ୍ସିବଲ ଥିଲା ନା ତ ତାପରେ କଣ କରାଗଲା ଯେ କି ତାକୁ ଯେକୌଣସି ଡିଭାଇସ କନେକ୍ଟ କରାହବ ଗୋଟେ ନେଟୱାର୍କରେ ଇଟ୍ସ ନଟ୍ ଆବାଉଟ୍ ଓନଲି ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ ଇଟ୍ ମେ ବି intranet or it may be a local area network wide area network wherever okay if it is a network and you want to associate any physical device to that network definitely you need an IP address ଯେମିତି ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ ରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ୱେବସାଇଟ କୁ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ଡୋମେନ ଦରକାର ବେସିକାଲି ଡୋମେନ ବେକଏଣ୍ଡ ରେ କିଏ ଥାଏ ଆଇପି ହିଁ ଥାଏ ରାଇଟ ତ ସେଇଭଳିଆ ନେଟୱାର୍କ ରେ ତମକୁ ଯେକୌଣସି ଡିଭାଇସ କନେକ୍ଟ କରିବାର ଅଛି ନା ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଆଇପି ଆଡ୍ରେସ ତା ପାଇଁ ଦରକାର ତ ସେଇ ଆଇପି ଆଡ୍ରେସ ଦରକାର ପଡିଲା ବୋଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରାଗଲା ସେତେବେଳେ IPv4 ବାହାରିଲା IPv4 କେତେ ଯାଏଁ ଗଲା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଦେଖ ଏଠି ଆମେ ଲେଖିଥିଲେ କାଢିଥିଲେ ଓକେ ଏଠି କ୍ଲାସ B and second क्लास A 1 ରୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେଲା ରାଇଟ IPv ଦେଖ ଲାଷ୍ଟ କେତେ ଯାଏଁ ଗଲା DE ବେସିକାଲି DE ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରନ୍ତିନି ହେଲା ଅପ ଟୁ କ୍ଲାସ C ହିଁ ୟୁଜ କରାଯାଏ ଏଇ 223 255 255 ଏତିକି ହଉଛି ଲାଷ୍ଟ ୟା ଆଗକୁ ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରନ୍ତିନି କାହିଁକି ନା ସେ IP ଆମ ପାଇଁ ଆଭେଲେବଲ ନାହିଁ
ଆମେ କୋଉଠି ସर V4 यूज करिया IP ଆଉ V6 यूज करिया जानिया केमती एटा
IPv4 V6 କିଛି ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ନାହିଁ
सेम पूरा
ଏବେ ତ ମୁଁ ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟୋରିଟା କହୁଛି ଯେ କି V4 ଯେତେବେଳେ ବାହାରିଲା ତାଙ୍କର କେବେ ବି ଥିଙ୍କିଂ ଥିଲାନି ଯେ କି ଏତେ ଲୋକ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟରେ ଏକ୍ସେସିବିଲିଟି କରିବେ ଆଉ ଏତେ ଡିଭାଇସ କନେକ୍ଟ ହବ ସେମାନେ ତ ବନେଇ ଦେଇଥିଲେ ଜିନିଷ ଇନିସିଆଲି ଗ୍ରୋ କଲା ଜିନିଷ ଗ୍ରୋ କରି ଗୋଟେ ସର୍ଟନ ଲେଭେଲ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲା ଯେ କି ଲୋକଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଡିଭାଇସ ପଡିଛି ବଟ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ କନେକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ହେଇପାରୁନି କାହିଁକି କାହିଁକିନା IP ରେଞ୍ଜ ଆଭେଲେବଲ ନାହିଁ ଭାଇ IP ରେଞ୍ଜ ନାହିଁ IP ଆଡ୍ରେସ ମିଳୁନି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ତ ସେ କେସ ରୁ ଓଭରକମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କଣ ବାହାରିଲା IPv4 ବାହାରିଲା ବୁଝିଲ ଗୋଟେ ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ ତ ଏଟା ହେଲା ବୁଝିଲ ଫାଷ୍ଟ IPv6 ବହୁତ ଲେଟ ରେ ବାହାରିଲା ता पूर्वरु कोन बाहरला ता पूर्वरु बाहरला होची एई जो साइडर बा सबनेटिंग प्रोसेस बाहरला होला एबे आसुची गोटे सबनेटिंग प्रोसेस एठी देखो गोटे अछि पॉइंट सबनेट मास्क एठी अछि होला सबनेट मास्क माने कोन बुझि परछो एठी देखो 255 मु कोन कहितले फास्ट ऑक्टेट ता काहा को बिलोंग करे नेटवर्क को तो फास्ट ऑक्टेट नेटवर्क को माने it is definitely going to be 255 and when I say network means basically computer always understands 1 and 0 right so when I am saying there is a number or it's an IP address behind the scene basically it's converted into multiple bits okay and if you are say looking at 255 it is definitely something like that କଣ ହେଇଥିବ ଜାଣିଛ A1 ଏଟା ଉଠିବେ 1 1 1 5 6 7 8 କେତେଟା 8ଟା 1 ଲେଖିନ ନା 8 ones are there right dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 are you getting anything here when there is a 1 that means that belongs to network and if you convert these 8 ones on a binary conversion process binary conversion school बेले पढ़ा हैतला केमिति हुए 1 रे फर्स्ट 1 रे कोन करिया हमें 2 to the power 0 प्लस सेकंड 1 रे कोन करा हबो 2 to the power 1
yes
मने पडुछ एटा ए कन्वर्सन प्रोसेस टा फर्स्ट 1 रे 2 to the power 0 जदि मु गुणीबी केते हबो 2 to the power 0 जे केते 1 into 1 जे हबो 1 राइट सेकंड 1 रो वैल्यू केते हबो 1 into 2 to the power 1 which is 2 थर्ड रो केते हबो 2 to the power 2 राइट into 1 2 to the power 2 into 1 4 से भले फोर्थ रो दुर्गा केते हबो सॉरी चलो मैं एटा आउथर लिख दो चलो ऑक्टेट हबो केतेटा हमर फर्स्ट ऑक्टेट केते 1 सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ फिफ्थ 6 7 8 राइट 3 3 14 डॉट 0 0 dot 0 then this thing how this is related to or getting converted to 255 so we are basically calculating the subnet mask of this range okay the first value is going to be 1 into 2 to the power 0 which is 1 into 1 equal to 1 right second one what will happen with second one 1 into 2 to the power 1 equal to 1 into 2 बहुत ही इंपोर्टेंट है जोटा हम डिस्कशन करूछंती भाबिबन जे कि कोन मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ा हलान कोर कांसेप्ट पूरा सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री रो ये नेटवर्किंग रो कोर जदि तुम एई जिंस को बुझी जाउ जो ना तबे केबे भी वीपीसी कोन आईपी एसो जिंस तुम केबे कंफ्यूजन किछि आसीबोनी तो पिला खेल भले लागियो एसो जिंस जानि तो 2 थर्ड रो कोन हबो 1 into 2 to the power 2 which is equal to 1 into 4 equal to 4 एबे हो तापटा 1 into 2 to the power
1 into 2 to 3
1 into 8 right
6 8 sorry 8 right
1 into 2 to the power 4 1 into 16
16
1 into 2 to the power 5
5
32
1 into 32
32
1 2 3 4 5 okay last two 1 into 2 to the power 6
64
1 into 64 equal to 64 last one is 1 into 2 to the power 7 1 into 128 128 if you sum this whole ना जदि आम कंप्लीट एको मिसई दबा जदि आम कंप्लीट एको मिसईबा तमे माने निजे भी सम करिक देखि परिबो केते हबो 8 4 8 4 12 2 14 6 18 8 26 4 30 256 ହଉଛି ତ 255 ଆସିବ କେତେ ଆସୁଛି କାଲକୁଲେଟ କରିକି ଦେଖ
टू 55
255 ହେଲା ମିଳିଗଲା ଏ value 255 basically what I am trying to convey here guys so when any octet means this whole section okay this whole area when this first octet belongs to or first octet this is the মানে এইটা হচ্ছে class A ର nature okay class A under ରେ ଯେତେ ବି ସାରା IP ଅଛନ୍ତି starting from 1.002 126 okay starting from there to all the way to here whatever IPs are available na all belongs to first octet is always network and other octets are belongs to host and now you can ask me okay so what does mean again belongs to host so host को belong करूची माने हला ए सबु IP range ना तम पई available भाई तमे machine लगेई पारिबो बुझी पाइलो एबे काहे कैलकुलेट करा होतला ये
Yes.
बुझी पाइलो तो एबे मते कहइबो कि तमरो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आसियो ओके we got your number we got the idea but exactly but can you tell us how many machines or how many IPs are available there so that we can attach that number of machines let's take a look I am removing this okay बुझी पाइलो मो क्वेश्चन मु कोन कहले एबे कोन कैलकुलेट करे जाउची how many IPs are present in class A केतटा IP देखौची से 16 it's not 16 lakh actually okay it's 1 crore 67 lakh 77,216 these number of IP addresses you are going to get if you are using a class A IP range बुझी पारुछ
yes
जतेबेले IP बाहरिला लोक randomly IP pick कले नेले से माने यूज कले class A class B किछि भाबिलेनी यूज कले अब now think about the situation okay you are working or you maybe have a very small organization where you might need something around you are planning to connect only 30 devices okay you are targeting to connect 30 devices which means if you are having something around 50 or 60 IP that's enough for you is there any sense of
yes
is there any sense of keeping these number of IPs near you
Yes.
no right तुम पाखे किसी माने ही बनुनी भाई तुम काहे कि एते कोटिए 67 लक्ष नहीं करियो कोन तुमको 30 टा आईपी दरकार
माने भाई एस माने हमर रिक्वायरमेंट अनुसार हमें तो आईपी क्रिएट करिया एज माने हमर प्रोडक्शन रे हो कंपनी रे
आईपी क्रिएट करा जो राइट सेहिथि पाई तुमको एटा बुझौची मु सेहिथि पाई एटा को बुझौ जाव एटा ତମେ ଭାବିବନି ଯେ କି ଏଟା ଡେଲି ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ତମ ମତେ କଥା ହବ ଯେ ତମ ଡେଲି କୋଉ କାମରେ ଆସିବ ତାହେଲେ ଏଇଟା ହିଁ ଆସିବ। ତମେ ଆଇପି ଦେଖିକି ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରୁଥିବା ଦରକାର ଯେ କି ଆଇପି ଟା କଣ, ଏଟା ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଆଇପି ନା ପବ୍ଲିକ ଆଇପି, ଏଟା କୋଉ ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଥିବ, ତମେ ସେଇଟା ଦେଖିକି ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରୁଥିବା ଦରକାର। ଏବେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଆସୁଛି, ଠିକ ଅଛି ଭାଇ ଆପଣ ତ କହିଲେ 30 ଟା, ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସ ଏ କାହିଁକି ଯିବି, ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସ ବି କୁ ପଳେଇବି, ରାଇଟ? ଯେମିତି କ୍ଲାସ ଏ ଅଛି ଏଠି କ୍ଲାସ ବି ବି ଅଛି, ଚାଲ ଭାଇ ଦେଖିଦବା କ୍ଲାସ ବି ବିଷୟରେ ବି ଚେକ୍ କରିଦବା, ଯଦି ଡାଉଟ ଆସୁଛି ତାପରେ ଦେଖିବା କ୍ଲାସ ବି ର କେତେଟା ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି। କ୍ଲାସ ବି ରେ କେତେଟା ଆସୁଛି? 10,48,576. Again, is there any sense for keeping these many IPs?
No.
No, right? There is no sense. Last one is class C, because class D and class E are completely reserved for research purposes. So now you guys can see, okay, class C, okay, this makes sense to me. Okay, 256 is fine. Class A, class B, class C. जो तुम तीनटा भितर तुमको के पछे तुमको हाँ class C आमे हुए तो करी पारिबा, राइट? आमे हुए तो करी पारिबा, मु तुमको ऑप्शन रे नउछि। जदि तुमर 30टा आईपी दरकार अछि ताहले तुमको आइडियल कहा सहित जीवा कथा? क्लास सी सहित,
First
क्लास सी
sorry,
सहित,
class
राइट?
C, हाँ.
क्लास सी आईपी को स्टार्ट होछ देखो एठी तो देखुछि पूर्व एथि की जीवा, एबे देखो क्लास सी केते रु स्टार्ट होछ, क्लास बी, क्लास सी। क्लास बी को स्टार्ट, सॉरी क्लास सी को स्टार्ट होछि 192 रु ऑनवर्ड्स, राइट? एठी देखो काहे कि सेठी तुमको मिलुछि 256 टा, एबे भाबी परछो देखो एठी काहे 256 टा मिलिछि जानि पाइले? देखो क्लास सी रो देखो, now look at the subnet mask of class C. This belongs to network, second octet belongs to network, third octet also belongs to network, the last one is 0 which belongs to host. And we know in a octet how many numbers are available? 0 to 255, which means if you sum 0 with 255 it is going to be 256. बुझी पाइलो काहे तमे 256 टा पाइलो? बुझी ହେଲା
Yes.
ना कंफ्यूजिंग ହେଲା? ଆଉ ଥରେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିବି ଯଦି କନଫ୍ୟୁଜन ରହୁଛି।
ଆଉ ଥରେ ଟିକେ କହିବେ, ସେଠି ଦେନ ଲାଷ୍ଟ 256 ଥିଲା, ଏଠି 0 ଅଛି, ତ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଟିକେ କହିବେ ଏଇଟା।
ମୁଁ କଣ କହିଲି, ତମର ଆଇପି ଦରକାର ଥିଲା 30 40 50 ମେବି ଗୋଟେ ସେଇ ରେଞ୍ଜ ଭିତରେ ଦରକାର ଥିଲା, ଛୋଟ କମ୍ପାନୀ ତମର, ତମକୁ ସେତିକି ଆଇପି ରେଞ୍ଜ ଦରକାର ଥିଲା, ତ ତମେ କଣ କଲ, ଆମେ ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆଉଟ୍ କଲେ ଯେ କି କ୍ଲାସ ସି ରେ ଆଇଡିଆଲ ଅଛି ଆମ ପୋଜିଶନ, ରାଇଟ? ଆମେ କ୍ଲାସ ସି ଗଲେ ଆମେ ଆଇଡିଆଲି କିଛି ୟୁଜ କରିବା ଆଉ କିଛି ସେଫ ରଖିବା ଆମ ଫ୍ୟୁଚର ପର୍ପଜେସ ପାଇଁ, ଆଉ ଯେହେତୁ 256 ଟା ଆଭେଲେବଲ ଅଛି ତ ଆମ ପାଇଁ ସେଟା ଠିକ ଅଛି, ପ୍ରପର ଅଛି। ଏବେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଆସୁଛି କ୍ଲାସ ସି ରେ 256 ଟା କାହିଁକି ଆଭେଲେବଲ ହେଲା? क्लास ए बी रे नथिला, क्लास सी रे काहे 256 टा अवेलेबल होला? सेटा हम एक्सप्लेन करूची, जतेबेले सेटा तमे कोउठ पाइबो? सबनेट मास्क वैल्यू होला। डिफॉल्ट सबनेट मास्क वैल्यू कोन अछि एठी? देखो फर्स्ट ऑक्टेट रे कोन देइची? 255। 255 माने सेठी कोन हेइची? सेटा कंप्लीटली काहा को बिलोंग करे? एठी बुझाइथिली फास्ट,
एटा क्लास ए रे बिल
जतेबेले 255 कोउठ आसे? हमें 8टा 1 रु आसे, राइट?
हाँ हाँ
8टा 1 माने कोन? मु कहिथिली 1 माने होची नेटवर्क। तो एबे एई सबनेट मास्क रो फर्स्ट ऑक्टेट काहा को बिलोंग करूची?
क्लास ए को बिलोंग्स करछ ना, जो 1 ले
ना सॉरी, माने एटा काहा को बिलोंग करछ? नेटवर्क ना होस्ट को? नेटवर्क को। वेरी गुड, या पर लिखली मु नेटवर्क हला। एबे ता पर सेकंड ऑक्टेट काहा को बिलोंग करची?
नेटवर्किंग एटा भी
थर्ड ऑक्टेट
सेम नेटवर्क
लास्ट केवल बिलोंग करची होस्ट को,
होस्टिंग को, राइट?
सेइथि पई हमर सेठी 256 टा अछि, से केते रु जीवो? 0 रु से मैक्स जीवो केते? 255। बुझी गेला? एबे क्लास सी भाई ग्रेट, हमर फाइनल हे गेला, में क्लास सी ही बुक करिवा, काहे ना हमर मते 40 टा आईपी दरकार, राइट? बुझी हे गेला? 40ଟା ଆଇପି ମତେ ଦରକାର, 30ଟା 40ଟା ଯେତେ ଦରକାର, 255 ଭିତରେ ଯେତିକି ଦରକାର ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସ ସି ସହିତ ଯିବି। ଏବେ ଦେଖ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଆସିଲା, ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହିଥିଲି, ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ବି ଏ କଥା, IPs are always two types.
V4 V6
ସେଟା ହଉଛି ତାଙ୍କର ଭେରାଇଟି ବା ଭର୍ଜନ କହିପାରିବା, ବଟ୍ ବେସିକାଲି ଆଇପି କେମିତି ଦି ପ୍ରକାର, ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ହଉଛି ପବ୍ଲିକ,
अच्छा
ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ହଉଛି
सबनेट
ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ।
ଚାଲିଯିବ।
ଦି ପ୍ରକାର ଆଇପି ଅଛି, ପବ୍ଲିକ ଆଉ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ। Now comes question, which IP I should use? Class C is fine, okay, but now comes the question, which I should use, because if you want to use the public one, then you have to purchase it. It's not freely available. You need to purchase it, which is going to cost you some amount. Okay, so is there any option for private we have in the class C? Now comes next question, right? Private class C re, sorry, private IP କିଛି range ଅଛି କି class C ରେ? Yes, there is a range available, and here it is. Starting from 192, 168.00 to 168 or 192, 168, 255, 255. Whatever you are going to pick from this one, these all belongs to private, which means you don't have to buy them. You can just use them. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ? ତମକୁ ଏବେ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ୟୁଜ କରିବାର ଥିଲା, କୋଉଠୁ? କ୍ଲାସ ସି ରୁ। କାହିଁ କ୍ଲାସ ସି ରୁ ୟୁଜ କଲ? କାରଣ ତମର ଭାଇ 40ଟା ଆଇପି ଦରକାର, ତ ତମେ ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆଉଟ୍ କଲ ଯେ କି କ୍ଲାସ ସି ରେ ହିଁ 256 ବାଲା ରେଞ୍ଜ ଅଛି, ତ ସେଠୁ ମୁଁ ନେଇଯିବି। ରାଇଟ? ବୁଝି ହେଇଗଲା ଏବେ? ଚାଲ, ଭେରି ଗୁଡ। ସେଇଭଳିଆ ସପୋଜ ତମର ଏବେ ଦରକାର ଅଛି 8000 ଆଇପି, କଣ କରିବ?
8000 ଯଦି କ୍ଲାସ ଏ ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରିପାରିବା,
କ୍ଲାସ ବି ରେ ହେଇଯିବ।
ଫାଷ୍ଟ ରେକମେଣ୍ଡେଡ କଣ? କ୍ଲାସ ବି ଆମେ ଯିବା। Let's think about, now you want to use 8000 IPs, so you are targeting class B. So again comes the question, are you willing to go with the public because public is chargeable?
No.
Or is there any private option available?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here is the available.
Yes, we also have a private option for you guys, only to make it more flexible and more cost efficient. In class B, here is the private range, 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. This is the private range belongs to your class B IP addresses. Depending upon your IP requirement, you are going to pick it up. Okay.
Yes.
Now the last one, if you want more than something around like 15 lakh or 20 lakh or 25 lakh, then you can go with the class A. Okay, and in class A you also have a private IP range which starts from 10.0.0 to 10.255, 255, 255. Okay.
Yes.
This is the whole structure of IP addresses. Okay, it would be great for you all if you watch those videos whatever I have shared in the group, because those are highly recommended and highly efficient videos I have ever been watched over these topics.
Yes.
And I don't want to waste again, because those are already available in the YouTube for free, so why waste so much time on that topic? ତ ସେ ଭିଡିଓକୁ ଦେଖ, କିଛି କନସେପ୍ଟ ନାହିଁ, ଯାହା ଡାଉଟ ଅଛି ମୋତେ ପଚାର, ଏଇ ଯାହା ମୁଁ କହିଲି ସେଇଆ ହିଁ, ବଟ୍ ଯେହେତୁ ସେଟା କଣ ପ୍ରପର ରେକର୍ଡେଡ ଭିଡିଓ, ଲାଇଭ ସେସନ ନୁହଁ, ରେକର୍ଡିଂ କରାହେଇଛି, ପ୍ରପରଲି ଇନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ସନ ଦିଆହେଇଛି, ଷ୍ଟେପ ବାଇ ଷ୍ଟେପ ଅଛି ସେଥିରେ, ତ ତମକୁ ବହୁତ ଭଲସେ ବୁଝା ପଡିବ। ବୁଝିହେଲା କାହିଁକି ଆମର ଆଇପି ଏତେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ନେଟୱାର୍କିଂ କେସରେ?
Yes.
Because anyhow we need to find out how many IPs we need, otherwise we won't be able to attach our devices. Okay, now let's get back to our VPC again, because we spend quality time over this IP classes, and also go through that other video and get me back if you have any confusion over there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was also about to show you the CIDR calculator, right? Show you that too. If you just type CIDR calculator and get into any of the tool. So CIDR calculator is nothing else. It is going to show you all the details like this one, like this one. It will
तो
show you.
केमती चेक करिवे एथरे हमर केते आईपी हमें यूज करबा केमती चेक करबा हमें
बुझिपाइलेनि हाँ ସେଇଟା ଯୋଉଟା ପଚାରୁଛ ସେଟା ହଉଛି ଏବେ ଆସୁଛି
हां
କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ସବନେଟ ମାସ୍କିଂ ହେଲା ସେଟା ଆହୁରି ଗୋଟେ କୋର କନସେପ୍ଟ ତାଠୁ ରେକମେଣ୍ଡ କରିବି ଫାଷ୍ଟ ତମେ ସେ ଭିଡିଓ ଦେଖ ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଯଦି ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା ଆହୁରି ବହୁତ କ୍ଲାରିଟି ଆସିବ ମୁଁ କହିବା ପାଇଁ କହିଦେବି ଏବେ ଏଟା ମତେ ଇସୁ ନାହିଁ ହେଲା ବଟ୍ ସେଟା ରିପିଟ
ନାଇଁ
ହବ
ଭିଡିଓଟା
ଭିଡିଓ ମୁଁ
ସେ
ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ସେଣ୍ଡ
ସେତେବେଳେ
କରୁଛି
ମତେ ଖାଲି କହି ଦେଇଥିଲେ ଯେ ଏଟା ଆଇପି ଏମତିରେ ଆଇପି ୟୁଜ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଏଟା ୟୁଜ ହୁଏ କେତେ କଣ ଆଇପି ୟୁଜ କରିବ ଏଥିରେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସାଇଡର କ୍ୟାଲକୁଲେଟର ୟୁଜ ହୁଏ
ହୁଁ
ତାପରେ ଆଉ କିଛି ଜଣା ନାହିଁ
ମୁଁ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ପୋଷ୍ଟ କରୁଛି ଭିଡିଓ ତମେ ମେ ବି ଦେଖିନ ବୋଧେ
ହଁ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଦେଖିଛି ଭିଡିଓଟା ଦେଖିଦେବି ନହେଲେ ଆଉ
ହଁ ସେଇଟା ଟିକେ
ଭଲସେ
ଦେଖ ମୁଁ ଏଇଠି କେବଳ ଦେଖେଇ ଦଉଛି ତମେ ଯୋଉ କହିଲ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷଟା ମୁଁ ଏବେ ଦେଖେଇ ଦଉଛି ଲେଟ୍ସ ଆଜ୍ୟୁମ୍ ମୁଁ ପିକ୍ କଲି ଆଇପି ମୋର ନେଲି କେତେ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଆଇପି ସହିତ ଗଲି ହେଲା ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଆଇପି କ୍ଲାସ ସି ଓକେ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଆଇପି ରେଞ୍ଜ କେତେ ହେଇଛି 192.168.0.0 ସୋ
192.168.0
ଆମେ ଏଠି ଗଲେ ଆମେ ଓକେ 192.168 dot
192.168.0.0
dot 0 calculate okay now you are going to get the output something like that and see what it is saying IPs in range is only one IP available which is this one which is only
अच्छा
this one if you change this value this 32 to
60
something around 28 see
28
it is going to
अच्छा
16 if you change this one again to 24 and see to 56 but
56
if you switch from 24 to 26 see 64 IP এটা କଣ ହଉଛି ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ଏଇଟା ଏଇ ଯୋଉ 26 ଟା ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହିଦଉଛି ଚାଲ ଏଇଟା ଯଦି ଉପରେ ଚାଲୁଛି ନା ୟାର ଉପରେ ମୁଁ ଡିଟେଲ ବି କହିଦିଏ ତମକୁ ଆହୁରି ବେଟର ଅଣ୍ଡରଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡିଂ ଆସିବ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ମୁଁ ଯୋଉ ଚାରିଟା ଅକ୍ଟେଟ ଦେଖେଇ ନଥିଲି ଫାଷ୍ଟ 1.1.1.1 ଚାରିଟା ଅକ୍ଟେଟ ଥିଲା ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ ରେ କେତେଟା ବିଟ୍ ଅଛି ବିଟ୍ ମାନେ 1 and 0 one octet contains 8 bits okay one octet contains 8 bits so if there are 4 octets then how many bits are totally there
18 to 4 32
32
bits
bits ବୁଝିପାରୁଛୁ 32ଟା ବିଟ୍ କୋଉଠୁ ଆଇଲା
ହଁ
ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଅକ୍ଟେଟ ରୁ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ନଟ୍ ସେଇଂ କି ଏ ବିଟ୍ ରେ କେବଳ ଏକ ହିଁ ଥିବେ ଭାଇ 1 0 କମ୍ବାଇନ ହେଇକି ବି ରହିପାରିବେ ଖାଲି 0 ବି ରହିପାରିବ ଖାଲି 1 ବି ରହିପାରିବ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ସେଇଭଳିଆ କେତେଟା ଅଛି 32ଟା ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଠି ସ୍କ୍ରିନ ରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କଲି 26 ଦେଖ ଏଠି ମୁଁ ଦେଖଉଛି ସ୍କ୍ରିନ ରେ ଯଦି ମୁଁ କରୁଛି ନା pick the pointer just take a look when I am making it 32 okay now see what it is saying only one IP is available for you to use so basically what I am saying all octet okay whatever octet is present here na all of them these all guys belongs to network 32 means that 32 ମାନେ ହିଁ ହଉଛି ସେଇଆ ଭାଇ ସବୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଛି କାହାକୁ ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି କ୍ଲାସ A କୁ ମାର୍କ କର କ୍ଲାସ A ରେ ସେ କଣ କହୁଛି ଫାଷ୍ଟ 8ଟା ବିଟ୍
8
ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ
bits
ଆଉ 24 ବିଟ୍ ହୋଷ୍ଟ କୁ
first to
ରାଇଟ ତ ଏଠି କଣ ଆସିବ /8 ଆସିବ ଆମେ ସ୍ଲାସ ଦେଇକି ଯେତିକି ଲେଖନ୍ତି ତା ମାନେ ହଉଛି ସେତିକିଟା ନେଟୱାର୍କ ବିଟ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତା ଭିତରେ ଏଇଟା ଦେଖ ଏଠି /8 ଦେଇଛି ନା 32 ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି 8 ଯଦି କରିବି ନା କେତେ ନମ୍ବର ଦେଖେଇଲା ଏଇଠି
ମାନେ ଯେତେ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ନମ୍ବର ଦେବା ଆମେ ସେତିକି ବିଟ୍ ଅଧିକ IP
ସେତେ IP ଆମେ ପାଇବା।
ହଁ
ଏଇଠି ଦେଖ ମୁଁ ଯଦି /8 ଦେଇଦେନି, ଏଇଟା ଚିନ୍ମୟ ଦେଖ, ଯଦି ମୁଁ /8 ଦେଲି, ଏଇ ନମ୍ବରଟା ତମକୁ ୟା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଦେଖେଇଥିଲି 1,67,00,000 ମୁଁ କହିଥିଲି।
67
କାହାର ଏଟା? କ୍ଲାସ୍ A ର। But is it possible for this IP range? No, because this IP belongs to class C. If you want to have this kind of number, what is the private IP range in class A? 20.0.0.0. ଏଠି ତମେ କରିପାରିବ ଏକୁ। ଏବେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଆସୁଛି, ଭାଇ ସବୁ ତ ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଫେର ଇଏ ସବୁ କଣ /8, 9, 10, 11 ଇଏ ସବୁ କାହିଁକି ଆଇଲେ? ଏମାନଙ୍କର କଣ ପଡିଗଲା ଦରକାର ଯେ କି ଏମାନେ ମାର୍କେଟ ଉପରକୁ ଚାଲିଗଲେ ଏମିତିଆ? ରାଇଟ୍? ଏବେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଆସୁଥିବ ଏ ଜିନିଷ କାହିଁକି ଆସୁଛି ଡିଭିଜନ ଟା? ମତେ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ କୁହ। ଏବେ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଏବେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ କରୁଛି ହେଲା। ତମ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ କେତେଟା IP ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା? କମ୍ପାନୀ ଯୋଉ ବନେଇଥିଲ 40ଟା। ତମେ କାହାକୁ ପିକ୍ କଲ? କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସି କୁ। ରାଇଟ୍? କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସି କୁ ନେଲ। କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସି ର କାହାକୁ ନେଲ? ତମେ ଫେରେ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ବି ନେଲ। ବହୁତ ଚାଲାକ, ତମେ ବହୁତ ସ୍ମାର୍ଟ, ପାଠ ପଢିଛ ପୁରା ପ୍ରପରଲି। ତମେ କଣ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ କୁ ନେଲ? 192.168.0.0. This belongs to class C, which means /24. Class C means /24 because I told you in class C, first octet belongs to network, second belongs to network, third belongs to network. Right? So 8 into 3 is 24. Now how many IPs are available for you here? We have already checked, its available IPs are 256. Right? Out of 256, you are using only 40 IPs. So how many IPs left?
256 minus 40.
256 minus 40.
One
What is the
six.
outcome? 116. Right? ତମର ଏବେ ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା 40ଟା, ଭାଇ ତମେ ୟୁଜ କରିଦେଲ। ଏବେ ମତେ କୁହ ଏଇ 116ଟା ତମେ କଣ କରିବ?
ଲସ୍ ହବ, ପ୍ୟାକେଟ ଲସ୍ ହବ।
Definitely loss. It would be wise enough if there is an option available for you to release those IPs either to network, or if you want, let's think about another scenario. ତମର ଗୋଟେ କାଲିକା ଡେଟ୍ ର ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଏକ୍ସପାନସନ ହେଲା, ତମେ କଣ କରିବ ତାହେଲେ? ତମେ କଣ ଫେର ଗୋଟେ IP ରେଞ୍ଜ ବୁକ୍ କରିବ ତମ ପାଇଁ? ତମ ପାଖରେ ଯୋଉଠିକି ଅଲରେଡି IP ରେଞ୍ଜ ଆଭେଲେବଲ ଅଛି, ତମର ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଏକ୍ସପାନସନ ହେଲା, +40 ତମକୁ ଏବେ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ଆସିଲା, +40 ତମେ ଏକ୍ସପାଣ୍ଡ କରିବ। ଏବେ କଣ କରିବ? ତମ ପାଖରେ ତ ଅଲରେଡି ପେଣ୍ଡିଂ ପଡିଛି ନା 116, ତ ତମେ ତାକୁ ୟୁଜ କେମିତି କରିବ? ଏବେ ଯୋଉ 116, ଏଟା ତ ଏଟା ପ୍ୟାକେଟେଡ ଡାଟା ଲସ୍, ବଟ୍ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ 116 ଅଛି ତାକୁ ରିୟୁଜ କେମିତି କରିବା? ଏବେ ସୁଶ୍ରୀ ଏନି ଥଟ୍ସ ଅନ୍ ଇଟ୍? ଦେଖିଥିବ ଯଦି ଭିଡିଓ କିଛି କହିବ?
ନାଇଁ ଷ୍ଟୋର କରି କିଛି ସବୁ ତ ରଖିବନି ତ।
ଦେଖ ଏଠି ବୁଝ ହେଲା, ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଅକ୍ଟେଟା କାହାକୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଛି? ହୋଷ୍ଟ କୁ।
0
ରାଇଟ୍? ହୋଷ୍ଟ କୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଛି, ମାନେ ଏଠି କେତେଟା ଅଛି ଜିରୋ? 8ଟା ଜିରୋ ଅଛି। ଅଛି କି ନାହିଁ? 8ଟା ଜିରୋ ଅଛି ନା, ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ତ ଏଟା 24 ଅଛି, ନହେଲେ ତ ସିଏ ଅଧିକା ଥାନ୍ତା। ମୁଁ ଏବେ କଣ କହିବି ନା, ଭାଇ ଯୋଉ 8ଟା ଜିରୋରୁ ନା 3ଟା ଜିରୋକୁ ଆମର କନଭର୍ଟ କରିଦିଅ, ବା 2ଟା ଜିରୋକୁ କନଭର୍ଟ କରିଦିଅ 1 କୁ। ମାନେ ବେସିକାଲି ହ୍ୱାଟ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ଟ୍ରାଇଙ୍ଗ ଟୁ ସେ ନା, ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ସେଇଙ୍ଗ convert few of my host bits into network bit. I'll show you.
Okay.
So basically 192.168.0.0.0.0.0 8 zeros. Okay, and if you look at all of them, these all also belongs to 111 111 111. Okay, at the back end, and that's why it is something like this belongs to 8 bit, this one is 8 bit, and this one is also 8 bit, right? But this one is how much bit? 0 bit. Why? All values are 0 there. So what I am saying, okay, do one thing. We need only 40 IPs. Na? Okay, let's convert these two, this guy and this one into network. So basically what I am saying, 192.168.0.0 slash, at this point what is the slash value? 24. But now I am saying slash 26. बुझिपाइल कौन कली मु दीटा होस्ट बिट को कन्वर्ट करदेली नेटवर्क रे एबे दिका मु ताको
Yes.
नेटवर्क रे कन्वर्ट करदेली एबे मते को केतेटा आईपी एड्रेस अवेलेबल अछि केतेटा आईपी एठी अवेलेबल रहि जातल तमरो ए जदि दीटा को हमें काटी दबा
254.
254 केमती रहयो भाई मु पा 254 माइनस कर देली दीटा पा कर
नहीं
देइछे आ ए लास्ट दी जन होचन पे हमर मेन लास्ट दी जन जो कैलकुलेट करथिले 1 into 2 to the power 0 2 to the power 1 2 to the power 3 ए लास्ट टा केते थिला हमर 2 to the power 7 राइट
हाँ
128 ता पूर्वटा कोन 2 to the power 6
6
which is equal to 64 टोटल केते होजी 8 4 12 2 1 नेला 4 2 8 1 9 1 192 एबे कोन हबो 256 अवेलेबल कंप्लीट आईपी केते 256 minus 192
90
4 15 6 64 आईपी ताने एतिका मु स्लैश 26 करी दउची ता माने मते केतेटा आईपी रहिला मो पाखरे एबे
60
ए मो पाखरे रहिला होची 64 आईपी अवेलेबल आईपी 64 हे गेला एबे राइट एबे मु फेरे सेकंड रीयूज करिवि ताकू रीयूज करिया पे कोन करिवि मु फेरे आउट बनेइबि 192.168.0 डॉट केतरु स्टार्ट हबो एडी 64 गला परे 65
64
slash 26 this is known as subnetting creating another net within the IP range this concept is known as subnetting very popular interview रे पचारदी क्वेश्चन या पे हला कैलकुलेट करिया पई कहबेनी एमिति गुटे देबे /24 /16 एमिता देई पचारिबे को रेंज को बिलोंग करे आईपी तो क्लास ए क्लास बी क्लास सी आईपी एड्रेस एग्जैक्टली पूरा मने रखिया आवश्यक नाही बट हां नजर रे थिबा दरकार बुझियला कंप्लीट
yes.
जिंस now let me show you why we discuss these all stuff why during the VPC session I am explaining these all things with you okay so let me close this now and let's get back to our VPC okay now again see what here it is saying example CIDR right so example CIDR in this CIDR what is the VPC range they have picked 10.0.0.0 which to belongs to which class
Hello.
hello
Yes sir.
हाँ एटा को क्लास को बिलोंग करूची लेट होची कि
ना ना
ଆଉ
ନା।
ଅଳ୍ପ ସମୟ ଖାଲି ସାରିଦେବା ତାକୁ ଓକେ ଇଏ କୋଉ କ୍ଲାସ କୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଛି 10.0.0 ଏ 16 10.0.0 we know belongs to class A
class A
but class A should be /8. Here it is showing /16, which it means what? They have enabled subnetting. ସେମାନେ subnet କରିଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି। ସେ କଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଭାଇ ତୁ ୟାକୁ ବି ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ ନେଇଯା, ୟାକୁ ବି ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ ନେଇଯା। ବୁଝିପାରିଲ? ଇଏ ବି ତମର ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ ପଳେଇ ଯାଇଛି, ଇଏ ବି ତମର ନେଟୱାର୍କ କୁ ପଳେଇ ଯାଇଛି। ତାହେଲେ available IP range କେତେ? ଏଇଟା ହଉଛି host ପାଇଁ, ଏଇଟା ବି host ପାଇଁ।
Host ପାଇଁ।
ସେ ଏବେ କଣ କରୁଛି ଦେଖ, এইଠୁ ସେପାରେଟ କଲା। 1 ରେ କେତେଟା କଲା? 1.0/24। 24 ଯେତେବେଳେ କଲା ତା ମାନେ କଣ? ଏବେ ଫେର ଏଠି ସବନେଟ କରିଦେଲା। ସବନେଟ କରି ଏଟାକୁ ପୁରା ନେଟୱାର୍କ ସେକ୍ସନ ଦେଇଦେଲା। ଏଇ 0 କୁ କହିଲା କେବଳ ହଉଛି ହୋଷ୍ଟ।
ଗୋଟେକୁ ହୋଷ୍ଟିଂ ସେକ୍ସନ।
ଗୋଟେକୁ ହୋଷ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଏଇଠି ସେ କେତେଟା ଆଇପି ରଖିଛି ନିଜ ପାଇଁ ବ୍ଲକ୍ କରିକି? 256।
256।
ଫେର ଏଠି କଣ କଲା? ଇନକ୍ରିଜ କଲା। ଦେଖ 1 ରୁ ଫେର କୋଉଠି ଗଲା? 2 କୁ ଗଲା। ରାଇଟ? କାହିଁକି? କାହିଁକି ନା ସେଇଠି 16 କରିଥିଲା। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେ 1 ରୁ 16 2 କୁ ଯାଇପାରିଲା। ମାନେ ସେ କଣ? Basically, what here basically happening is VPC created with a parent CIDR block, and in that parent CIDR block, I am saying two network and other 2 octet are host. Okay, VPC got created with this CIDR range. Once I have my VPC, once my VPC is ready, within the VPC, what we need to create? We need to create subnet, right? We all know that. And when we are going to create the subnet, at that moment we need different IP ranges. We can't create, or we cannot have a single IP range over the all subnets. And subnets are availability zone specific. VPC is region specific. Subnets are availability zone specific. So when I'm going to create the subnet, at that moment, what basically I'm trying to do, I am switching from the parent CIDR block to whatever possible options I can opt. So the first option I am opting 10. Network can be changed. So network value is same 10, then it's again 0, but we know this value can be changed and it belongs to host. So I switched from 0 to 1, and then what I said, in this public subnet, okay, in this public subnet, only the possible IP range is from 0 to 255. याठू अधिका IP range सेठी नाही कि केही करि भी परिबेनी। काहेंगी मु एठी 24 करिकि ना एको फिक्स कर देली। तो से सबनेट भितरे जेतेटा भी मेसिन मोर क्रिएट हबो ना, तार समस्तଙ୍କର IP range कोन रहो जानजो? 10.0.1 दैट्स फॉर श्योर। सेटा फिक्स रहयो। 255 हबो, 23 हबो, 55 हबो, सेटा डिपेंड करे। सेटा वेरी करिवो, एटा चेंज हे चलियो। But 10.0.1 that's compulsory will be there in the public fast public subnet. It's just an example, okay? It's not fixed for all the VPC. Then in the same manner, I have created another one private subnet, and there what I did, I switched from 1 to 2 and again 24. That means whatever resources will be created within a private subnet, okay, everything will be starting with 10.0.2 तापरे maybe 23 किछि भी हेई पारे। बुझिहेला?
ହଁ।
बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स फील हबो इनिशियली हैला, टिके ध्यान देले बुझी हे जिवो, किछि असुविधा नाही ताते। एबे क्वेश्चन आसे सबनेट कोन, राइट? नाउ कम्स द क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज अ सबनेट? So subnet is basically we already know, let me see the place I have opened that one second. This one. Let's get into this basic architecture. Okay, so when we create a VPC, okay, VPC is always created on a region level. VPC is always created on a region level. And we know that AWS, how AWS works, right? Within a region, there will be multiple availability zones. And when you are going to replicate or implement that network into your availability zones, at that point, you need to create subnets over availability zones. ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏଇ କଥାଟା?
ହଁ
VPC କୋଉ ଲେଭେଲରେ କ୍ରିଏଟ ହୁଏ? ରିଜିଅନ ଲେଭେଲରେ।
ରିଜନ ଲେଭେଲ
ତ VPC ଆମେ ଯଦି କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବା କୋଉଠି କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବା? AP
ସାଉଥ
ସାଉଥ 1 ରେ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବା। ବଟ୍ AP ସାଉଥ 1 ଭିତରେ ଆମେ ତ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ନା ତିନିଟା availability zone ଅଛି।
ହଁ
1A,
ମାନେ 1B
1B,
1C
1C। ଏବେ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଲେଭେଲରେ ଆମେ ଫେର କଣ କରିବା? ଗୋଟେ ନେଟୱାର୍କ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ।
ହଁ
କାହିଁକି ସେମାନେ ତ ମେନ୍ ଫିଜିକାଲ ଡାଟା ସେଣ୍ଟର ନା। ସେଠି ଯୋଉ ନେଟୱାର୍କ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରାହବ ସେଠି ତାକୁ କୁହାହବ ସବନେଟ। ଆଉ ସବନେଟ ସବୁବେଳେ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ସବନେଟ ହବ। ସେମ୍ ସବନେଟ ତମେ ଏଇ ତିନି ଜଣଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। ତମେ କହିବ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟିଏ ସବନେଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବି ତିନିଟା ଆଭେଲେବିଲିଟି ଜୋନ୍ ୟୁଜ କରିବି ସେଠି, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ସ ନଟ୍ ପସିବଲ, ଇଟ୍ସ ନଟ୍ ଆଲାଉଡ। You need three different network or three different subnets. ବୁଝିହେଲା?
ଓକେ ଯୋଉ ଆପଣ ୱେବ ସର୍ଭର ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ୱେବ ସର୍ଭରଟା ହିଁ ପବ୍ଲିକ ଖାଲି କରାଯାଇପାରିବ ଆଉ ଆପ୍ ସର୍ଭର ଡାଟାବେସ୍ କୁ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ କରାଯିବ
ରାଇଟ୍
ସବନେଟ ଦିଆ
ରାଇଟ୍। ତାକୁ କେବେ ବି ପବ୍ଲିକ ସବନେଟ ଭିତରେ ରଖାଯାଏନି।
ଓକେ
And why we are doing these all kind of stuff? We are doing these all networking and these all concepts because of we want to have a highly productive, highly available, highly disaster recovery possible, okay, application structure or architecture. ଆମକୁ ସେଭଳିଆ ଆର୍କିଟେକ୍ଚର ଦରକାର ବୋଲି ହିଁ ଆମେ ଏତେ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ କରୁଛନ୍ତି।
ହଁ
ବୁଝିହେଲା? ଏବେ
ହଁ
ଟିକେ AWS ଲଗଇନ୍ କରି ଖାଲି VPC କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିଦବା ଆଗେ, ଦେଖିଦବ
ଓକେ
ତାପରେ ରାପ୍ କରିବା ହେଲା। ଆହୁରି ଥିଓରି ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମେ ପରେ ଦେଖିବା, ବଟ୍ ଫର୍ ଟୁଡେ that much theory is enough. Just I want to show you since we discuss about the CIDR, and let's go create an VPC and take a look at the CIDR options there. Okay. And after that, we will be looking into the public and private subnet, which that is the net concept or topic, and what is the difference between them. Everything we are going to check there. Okay. ସେଥିରେ ଆମେ discussion କରିବା। ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଏଠି ପୁରା explicitly define କରି କହିବି। Okay. Now, just give me a second. Okay, let's look into the just a second. Please some space here. One second, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a VPC, and for that I need to log into my AWS account.
Screen is not visible.
I'm not sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, one second. One second. Screen share. So I am basically logging into my AWS account. Is my screen visible now, Chinmay?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, let's sign in. So I am going to show you today how to create a VPC and also where we are going to use that CIDR thing. Now sign in, put user name. Next. Sign in.
ଏ କଣ କମ୍ପାନୀରେ ରୁଟ୍ ୟୁଜରରେ ହିଁ ଲଗଇନ୍ ହୁଏ
ନା
ଆଉ
ଅଲଗା ୟୁଜର ଅଛି ସେଠି।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଏ କମ୍ପାନୀର ଅଥେଣ୍ଟିକେଟର ୟୁଜ ହୁଏ ନା ଟିଆରସି ଟୋକନ ଯୋଉ
ସିଙ୍ଗଲ
ସେଇଟା
ସାଇନ୍
ୟୁଜ
ଅନ୍,
ହୁଏ?
ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ସାଇନ୍ ଅନ୍। ଅକ୍ଟା
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ।
ହୁଁ
ଅକ୍ଟା ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନରେ ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ସାଇନ୍ ଅନ୍ ସେଟା କଣ କରାହେଇଥାଏ କି ତମର ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ଡିରେକ୍ଟରି ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି କନସେପ୍ଟ ହେଲା। ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ଡିରେକ୍ଟରି ମାନେ ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଅନବୋର୍ଡିଂ ହବ ତମ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ତମ ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ ଡିଜିଟାଲ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମ ବା ଗୋଟେ ଡିଜିଟାଲ ଫାଇଲ ହିସାବରେ ବନା ହବ ସେଇଠି ହିଁ ଆଡ୍ କରାହବ ଆଉ ସେଇଠୁ ହିଁ ତମକୁ ସବୁ କନେକ୍ସନ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରାହବ। ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲାଇଜ ଲୋକେସନ ଫର ମ୍ୟାନେଜିଂ ୟୋର ଅଲ୍ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଟି ଅର ଆକ୍ସେସ ଟୁ ଏଭ୍ରି ରିସୋର୍ସେସ୍। ଧର ସପୋଜ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନରେ ଜିରା ଏବେ ୟୁଜ କରାହଉଛି ତ ଜିରାକୁ ତମକୁ କଣ ଏକ୍ସେସ କେମିତି ଦେବେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲି କଣ ତମ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଯାଇକି ୟୁଜର ବନେଇବେ ଏଠି କାମ କରିବ ତମେ ସେମିତି ନୁହଁ ସେଠି
ହୁଁ
ଅକ୍ଟାରେ ହିଁ ସେମାନେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ତମକୁ ଇଣ୍ଟିଗ୍ରେଟ କରିବେ। ଓକେ ଆମେ ଆସିଲେ କାହିଁକି ଭିପିସି ବନେଇବା ପାଇଁ ରାଇଟ୍ ଚलो ଭିପିସି ଭିତରକୁ and make sure VPC is a region specific resource guys. Okay, so when you open a AWS account, okay, by default AWS from its end creates a default VPC. Okay,
yes right
by default a default VPC is available in every region. Okay, whether it is Mumbai or anywhere you want to go, it will be there. Okay, so as you can guys see, in my Mumbai region, I am having a VPC now. Okay, and I am going to show you how this VPC looks. And along with the VPC, there are a bunch of stuff which AWS from its end creates only to make it possible to work properly. And this is a demo VPC which you guys remember we created last time, and it's not default VPC. Okay, now let me go ahead and delete this one, and we are going to have everything from scratch. So I am showing you how you can delete VPC. It's simple, right? Just you need to select the option, then put the prompted keyword, delete, then delete. Okay, make sure before deleting any VPC, there is no active resources running on your VPC. Okay, now you guys can see I don't have any VPC in my Mumbai region. Okay, and it is asking also as we discussed to create VPC. But when I am going to create VPC, there are two options I have. Should I create a default VPC? Default means it is going to be completely provided by the AWS along with all the predefined requirements, whatever needed to running an
No,
service. Okay. If you
we
want to create a default VPC,
don't
you can.
VPC.
Hello.
Sorry, it's creating default VPC use होगा ना निजो VPC.
Let's first take a look at the default VPC. After that, I'll show you what is the difference between the own VPC. Okay. So if you want to create a default VPC, you can go with. By default, a default VPC will be available in every region. Since I have removed this one in our previous class, so that's why I don't see any default VPC right now. But if you go switch to other regions in my AWS account, let me show you the North
Switch to other
Virginia.
region.
Okay, if I switch to the North Virginia,
There will automatically default VPC.
see, this is a default VPC which is already available, ready to use in my North Virginia region. And how can you verify this is whether this is a default or custom VPC? If you want to know whether it is a default or custom, just scroll towards right, okay? And in the last second column, you can see default VPC, it is saying yes. This means this is a default VPC which is created by AWS for our use cases. Okay, but I am going to use Asia Pacific as my Mumbai region as my own space or network where I will be creating the VPC. And I have already shown you in Mumbai right now I don't have any VPC. If you want to recreate a default VPC, then instead of clicking on the create VPC option, go to the actions, okay, go to the actions and see there is a create default VPC. If you click on create default VPC, it is going to immediately prepare the VPC along with all the required stuff, whatever needed for your VPC, which means
Router.
see internet
Internet
gateway, route
router.
table, right? All the
Sub.
subnets it is going to create for you. Let's go and create that thing. And when you hit create default VPC, see immediately it just created those within fraction of seconds, guys. VPC is ready. And interestingly, AWS makes it more familiar with us, and there is a resource map in the VPC. You can see in this VPC, I am having how many subnets? I'm having three subnets.
Three subnets.
Yeah, okay. In every region, so in every availability zone, I am having one subnet. In 1A, subnet is 390, 1B, subnet is F95, 1C, subnet is 824. If you scroll towards the right, see, all the subnets are connected to a route table, and through that route table, this route table is connected to whom? This is the IGW, which is nothing else, your internet gateway. Okay. Now you must be wondering, or you might be getting the idea. Whenever I used to launch EC2 instances, at that point we never created any VPC. But since AWS has provided a predefined or pre-created VPC in the region, at that moment by default that EC2 picks that up. ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ EC2 କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରନ୍ତି କାହିଁକି ସେ ନେଇଯାଏ କାହିଁକିନା ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ଅଲରେଡି ଥାଏ ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେ ତାକୁ ନେଇଯାଏ ତାକୁ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିଦିଏ ଆମେ କେବେ ବି କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିନଥାନ୍ତି ସେ
डिफॉल्ट VPC रा से यूज कर दो
से डिफॉल्ट VPC को ही यूज कर दे ଏବେ ଦେଖ let me show you I am going to create a EC2 now. My computer is lagging very highly, I know, guys. Sorry about that, but I don't have any option. Why? Because the recording this one is consuming very memory, putting high load on my device. Okay, so I show you that our VPC in which region?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. So I'm going to launch the EC2 in the same region too, right? So let's go to instances. Now I don't have any running instance in this region. hit launch instances. This is our demo server. AMI, no need to select anything, go with the default one. AMI default is fine. Then scroll to down. Instant type, definitely we are going with the free tier.
T3.
Yep. T3 is auto selected, that's fine. Key pair, for now, since I am only showing you that how we can create the EC2 with the VPC, I'm not selecting any key pair. So we can proceed without a key pair, okay? But you can see it is not recommended. It is good practice to have a key pair. And now see guys, which VPC it is showing me here in the network setting by default. It is showing me F3F,
VPC.
right? Which is none other one. If you click on edit, and this is the
In
default
real
VPC.
time, keeper is needed or not?
Keep here, it depends, okay? It depends your use case. If you are trying to access the VPC, sorry, that server and that's present in the public subnet for specific use cases you have created, then you might use the keep here. Okay, now see in network settings here VPC, this is the default one. But now let's see if I go back to VPC, okay? Intentionally I'm doing this guys, okay? Only to show you what if I don't have a VPC, am I able to launch the EC2 or not?
Yeah, it's launching because
Delete. Okay, so my VPC is no more here. It's gone. Now let's get back to our launch process again. And I'll go and click on refresh here. Now see, no value is showing there. If I click once again refresh, nothing is there. Let's try to select from the drop down, nothing is present. Okay, so I am not able to select any network. If I go scroll down and I'll go with the default one and just hit launch instance, see what it is going to throw me. What it is saying. If you
VPC is
don't, yeah, right. If you are not going to define the VPC and a subnet, I am not going to launch the EC2 instance because this is the mandatory stuff you need to provide us. Auto and
okay.
public IP, you can enable it. It will went out. Okay. But what about these two values? Since we don't have, we cannot allocate anything there, right? So let's go. And from that, we know that whenever we are trying to launch an EC2 instance, whether it may be a EC2 instance, it may be an load balancer, definitely we need the network setups. So now comes question to as Chinmay asked me, which VPC is recommended in real time? Is it default or custom? Yes, we are going to have a custom one because AWS provided VPC is fine for lab and those purposes. But when you are going to work in the real time, that's a very realistic stuff, guys. There are so many important stuff happening, so many real data. You can't go with a default, which is completely managed by the AWS. So we have to create a custom VPC. For that, we need to create VPC. Click on create VPC. When you create VPC, it is saying only VPC you want or VPC and more. Okay, if you select VPC and more, see again it is saying these all kind of stuff you are going to spin simultaneously. But for right now, I am going with only the VPC. Okay, because I want to show you every step. I don't want to skip or just jump any few steps and go to the next step. So this will be my org VPC. Okay, my org VPC. And now see, it is asking which CIDR block you want to apply here. I'm saying IPv4 is fine. And what is the IP range? Okay, what is the CIDR range you want to put here? So I am saying let's say
92.
let's go with the 10.0, okay? 10.0.0.0.0 and then
Sir,
Start.
make sure
Start.
ଏଇଠି ଯୋଉ IPv4 ଆମେ ଦବା
hmm,
ସେଠି by 24 ସେ ଲେଖିଛି ଅଟୋମେଟିକ ସେଇଟା मतलब ସିଏ ରେକମେଣ୍ଡ କରୁଛି ସେଇଟା ଦବା ନା ଆମେ ମନ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଆମେ ଦବା ଗୋଟେ
ନାଇଁ ସେ ଯେତିକି ଲେଖିଛି 16 ରୁ 28 ଭିତରେ ହିଁ ଆମକୁ ଦବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟିଂ ହବ
ତ ଆମେ
16
କେତେ ଦବା ଧର ଆମକୁ କେତେ ଏବେ ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା କେମିତି ପୁଣି
ଧର ସପୋଜ ତମର ଏଇଖିଣା ଦେଖ ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଏବେ /28 ଦଉଛି ତାହେଲେ ମୋର
ହଁ
ଏଇ ଆଇପି ରେଞ୍ଜ ନେଇଛି କାହାର କ୍ଲାସ ଏ ର ବଟ୍ ମୁଁ ନେଲି କେତେ /28 ଏବେ ମୋର ଏଇଠି କେତେଟା ଆଇପି ରହିବ ଜାଣି ହବ କେତେଟା ଆଇପି ଆଭେଲେବଲ ଅଛି କୋଉଠିକି ଯିବ ସାଇଡର
Shadow
କାଲକୁଲେଟର
ଗଲ ଗଲ ସେଠିକି ତା ଭିତରକୁ ପଶିଲ ଯୋଉ ଭ୍ୟାଲୁ ତମେ ଏଠି ଇନପୁଟ ଦେଇଛ ମୁଁ କେତେ ଦେଇଥିଲି 10.0.0.0/28 ରାଇଟ୍
ହଁ
ପେଷ୍ଟ କରିଦିଅ
ସାଇଡରେ 32 ଅଛି 22 ହେଇଯିବ 28
ଓକେ ଏଠୁ 28 କାଟିଦବା ଆମେ ଏଠି ସ୍ଲାଇଡରେ ଆମେ ଦେଇଛି 28 କରିଦବା କରିଦେଲେ
28
ମୁଁ କେତେଟା ଆଇପି ପାଇବି ଏବେ ୟୁଜ କରିବା ପାଇଁ
16
16ଟା ପାଇବି ନା ନାହିଁ ମୋ କାମ ହେଇଯିବ କି ନାହିଁ
ନାଇଁ
ମୋର ଅଧିକା ଦରକାର ମୁଁ ରେଞ୍ଜ ଖସେଇ ଦେବି 17 26 କୁ 27 26 କୁ ପଳେଇବି ବୁଝିପାଇଲ
ସେଠି ଯୋଉ ଅଛି ହଁ ଏଠି ଯୋଉ ଆମର ଏଠି ଯୋଉ ଆପଣ କହିଲେ ଯୋଉ 28 ଏଇଖିଣା ହବନି
ହୁଁ।
ଏଠି ଆମର ଅଧିକ ଦରକାର ବୋଲି ବି ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା କେମିତି କାହିଁକି ଏଠି ତ କିଛି ମେନସନ କରିନାହିଁ ସିଏ ଖାଲି ମେନସନ କରିଛି 24 ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଇଏ ହେଇପାରିବ
ରାଇଟ୍
ସେଭଳିଆ
ତ ତମର ଯଦି ଏଭଳିଆ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ ମୁଁ କଣ କରିବି ସିମ୍ପଲି 16 ନେଇଯିବି
ସରି
ମୁଁ ସିମ୍ପଲି ଏଠି 16 ନେଇଗଲି ମୋର ସାଇଡର
ହଁ
ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ଏବେ ମୁଁ ଏକୁ କାଲକୁଲେଟ କରିଦେବି 16 ନେଲା ବେଳେ ମୋର କେତେଟା ଆଇପି ଆସୁଛି ଦେଖ ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟ ଫିଗର କେହି କନଫର୍ମ ନଥାନ୍ତି ହେଲା ବଟ୍ ହଁ ଆମର ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ ରହିବା ଦରକାର ଯେ କି ଆମେ ଯେତେ ମିନିମମ୍ ଜିନିଷ ପିକ୍ କରିବା 16 କଲେ କେତେ ହଉଛି
65,500
536 okay and this is
ସେ ଭାଇ
also
ମାନେ ଆପଣ ସ୍ଲାଇସ୍ ଚୁଜ କଲା ବେଳକୁ ସିଏ ସୋ କରିଦଉଛି କେତେଟା ଆଇପି ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଏକ୍ସାକ୍ଟଲି ରେଞ୍ଜ କରିବ
ହଁ ଏଇଟା ନର୍ମାଲ ଜିନିଷଟା ଆମେ ବି କାଲକୁଲେଟ କରିକି ଦେଖିଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ 256 ରେ ଦେଖଉଥିଲି ଟିକେ ଅଧିକା କାଲକୁଲେଟ କରିଥିଲେ ହେଇଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା ଟିକେ ପେପର ପେନ୍ ଟିକେ ଦରକାର ଗୋଟେ କାଲକୁଲେଟର ଦରକାର ବସିକି ହେଇଯିବ ସେ ଲଜିକଟା ସେମାନେ ଏଇଠି କୋଡରେ ଚଲଉଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ହେଲା ତ when I am saying 16 so now see how many IP ranges are available 65,536 but 16 means what 2 octet belongs to 10 and 0 belongs to network 0 and 0 belongs to home to host ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏବେ ତମେ କଣ କହିବ ନା ସାର୍ ଭାଇ ତ ବହୁତ ହେଇଗଲା ସାର୍ ଏଇଟା ମୋର ଏତେ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ମତେ ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି ତମ ରେଞ୍ଜ ଦେଖ କୋଉଟା ରଖିବ କୁହ ୟା ଭିତରୁ
25
25 if you are selecting 25 that means you are trying to create 128 IPs 120 IPs will be available for uses ବୁଝିହେଲା
ଓକେ
ନା କଣ ତମ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଅଛି କନଫ୍ୟୁଜନ ରହୁଛି କୁହ
ନାଇଁ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ବୁଝିଲି
ନାଇଁ ତମେ ଡାଉଟ ରହିଲା ମୁଁ ବୁଝିପାଇଲି ହେଲା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଠିକ ଅଛି ତମେ ଦେଖ ପ୍ରପରଲି ସେ ଯୋଉ ସାଇଡରଟା ଦେଖି ସାରିଲା ପରେ ଦେଖିବ ତମେ କ୍ଲିୟର ହେଇଯାଇଥିବ ଟିକେ ହେଲା
ସେ ଯୋଉ IPv4 ସାଇଡର ବ୍ଲକ ଦିଟା ଅଛି IPv4 ସାଇଡର ମାନୁଆଲ ଇନପୁଟ ତ ଆମେ କରିବା IPM ଆଲୋକେଟେଡ IPv4 ସାଇଡର ସେକେଣ୍ଡଟା କଣ ପୁଣି
ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଏ IPv4 pool ଏଇଟା ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଗୋଟେ ପୁଲ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରାଯାଏ ହେଲା ମୋଷ୍ଟଲି ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ କମ ଜାଗାରେ ୟୁଜ କରାଯାଏ ଏଇଟା ବହୁତ ବଡ ବଡ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନର କନଫିଗରେସନ ଯଦି ହେଇଥିବ ସେଥିରେ ଆଇପି ପୁଲ ମାନେ ହଉଛି ବହୁତ ସାରା ଆଇପି ନା ସେଠି କଲେକ୍ଟ ହେଇକି ଥିବ ତାଙ୍କର ତ ତା ଦେହରୁ ତମେ ସିଲେକ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବ ବେସିକାଲି ମଲ୍ଟିପୁଲ ଆଇପିଜ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ଆଭେଲେବଲ ଏଠି କଣ ହଉଛି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଆଇପି ଦଉଛି ରାଇଟ୍ IPv4 କରୁଛି ଓନ୍ଲି ଏତିକି ଦେଲେ ବଟ୍ ଏବେ 10 ଅଛି 11 ଅଛି 12 ଅଛି 15 ଆଠ ଦଶଟା ରେଞ୍ଜ ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ତ ତା ଦେହରୁ ତମେ ଏଟାକୁ ପୁଲ୍ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ରାଇଟ୍ so right now I gave 16 okay and no CIDR block and VPC encryption not needed for now create VPC. Okay. So let's go ahead and create VPC. And if you get into the resource table now, under that VPC, now see in the resources, there is nothing available for you. Only the route table is present. Okay. Only route table is created. No internet gateway, no subnets, nothing. And
Why, sir?
why? Because this is a custom VPC. There we have the full control.
But
And
VPC create ହେଲେ ତ ତିନିଟା ଚାରିଟା ଜିନିଷ ତ create automatically ହବ।
ନାଇଁ ସେଇଟା
ତ
ଡିଫଲ୍ଟ ରେ ହବ, ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ତ ମୁଁ କଷ୍ଟମ କୁ ଗଲି। କଷ୍ଟମ ରେ ମୁଁ
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ମୋ
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ନିଜ
default
ହିସାବରେ
ରେ ସେଟା
କଷ୍ଟମାଇଜ କରିବି।
custom ରେ ହବନି ନା ଚାରିଟା
କଷ୍ଟମ
ଜିନିଷ
ରେ ହବନି,
ପାଞ୍ଚଟା
ଡିଫଲ୍ଟ ରେ ହବ। ଏଇଟା ମୁଁ କଷ୍ଟମ କରୁଛି, ଏଥିରେ କଣ କରିବି, ମୁଁ ମୋ ନିଜ ହିସାବରେ ସବୁ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବି।
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ?
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ମୁଁ ମୋ ନିଜ ହିସାବରେ ତାକୁ ସାଇଡର ଦେଲି, ସେଇ ହିସାବରେ ମୁଁ ସବନେଟ ବନେଇବି। କେତେଟା ସବନେଟ ବନେଇବି ସେଟା ବି ମୁଁ ଡିସାଇଡ କରିବି।
ହଁ ବୁଝିଲି
ବୁଝିଲା?
ରାଇଟ୍।
ତ ଠିକ।
ବୁଝିଲି।
ତ ଏବେ if I go right now to spin the or launch the EC2, is it possible? If I click on here, it will show me the available VPC, which is default available. But still
Right.
we can't launch the EC2 because why?
Because subnet is
Because
not
subnet
created.
is needed, right? Subnet is
Right.
mandatory because we know that subnet is the main data center where we are going to place or launch our EC2 instance. So let's go ahead and launch a subnet now. And as per
Right.
our VPC CIDR, okay, if you look at the CIDR now, what is the CIDR of our VPC? 10.0.0.0/16, which means these two belongs to the network and these two belongs to the host, right? And I have already shown you how many IPs are available, 65,000 something around are available there. Okay, now let's go and launch subnet.
Created subnet. Right.
If you go to subnet and click on create subnet, so it is going to ask you first thing under which VPC you want to create. Since I have only one VPC, it is showing me only my own
Yes.
VPC, and I selected this one. Now see, it is showing us promptly, okay, this is the CIDR range associated with that VPC. Okay, this is the CIDR associated with that VPC. So for your subnet, okay, mark my words, guys. So for this subnet, okay, now see what it is saying, subnet 1 of 1. This is the first subnet. Put a name there. Okay, so I am going to say it. This will be my public,
VPC 0.
or let's say only subnet 1. Okay, I'm saying subnet 1. This is my subnet 1, and here it is saying and on which availability zone. That means on exactly which data center you want to create one. So I am saying
One,
now how many data centers we have in the Mumbai?
three.
We have three, right? One, two, sorry, one, three, and second. So I want to create on the first one. Okay, I want to
Yes.
create it on the first one, and this is my subnet one. Now again it is asking me, okay, so Pritam, we know that you choose 10.0.0/16 for the VPC, and out of that, how many IPs you want to assign to this subnet? Okay, do you want to assign all the IPs to this subnet? I'm saying no, I don't want to assign all the IPs. I want to assign few of the IPs to this subnet because I am planning to create multiple subnets in multiple availability zones, right? That's my ultimate goal. So what I'll do, I'll simply 10.0.0. Let me see the exact value. I have already a documented guide, step-by-step guide, where which you guys can follow and create your resources. Okay, so
28.
okay, here I took the example of 190 to 168. No issue. Let's go and create the uh, 10.0. Okay, so VPC, in VPC we assigned /16. In CIDR, I'm expecting to assign something 20. And when I am saying /20, then how many, which means how many IPs I am assigning to this subnet one? If you go and calculate here, /20. So basically I'm saying 40,096. So that's too much. We don't need root /24. /24 is fine. Okay. So what I'll go there and put just /24.
ତ କେତେ ଆମେ IPv4 subnet मतलब ସାଇଡର ରେ ଦବାଟା କମ୍ପାନୀ ଡିସାଇଡ କରିବ ନା ନା ନିଜେ ହିଁ ମନ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଏଠି ଦବ?
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଏଇଟା କମ୍ପାନୀ ତରଫରୁ ଆସିଯିବ, ତମ ଟିମ୍ ସିନିୟର ତମକୁ ଡିସାଇଡ କରିକି ଦେଇଦେବେ
ଆଚ୍ଛା
କେତେଟା
ଠିକ ଅଛି
ସାଇଡର ହବ, କୋଉ ସାଇଡର କଣ ରେଞ୍ଜ ରହିବ, ଟୋଟାଲ ସେମାନେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିକି ଫାଇନାଲ କରିକି ତମକୁ ଦେଇଦେବେ।
ଠିକ ଅଛି।
ସେଥିରେ ତମର ଏତେ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ପୁରେଇବା ନାହିଁ, ବଟ୍ ତମେ ବୁଝୁଥିବା ଦରକାର, ନହେଲେ ତମେ କେମିତି କହିବ ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ଜିନିଷଟା। ତ ମୁଁ ଏବେ କଣ କଲି, ଗଲି କ୍ରିଏଟ କଲି ସବନେଟ୍। ସୋ ନାଉ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ କ୍ରିଏଟିଂ ଦ ସବନେଟ୍ with another one CIDR range for specific to this subnet one, right? Now if you went to our VPC and look
One
at the
subnet is
resource map,
created.
look at the resource map. Now see, VPC is there, subnet 1 is there, and it is by default connect to a route table. Okay,
Right.
by default. Now if I go and launch the EC2 instance,
Subnet is
see,
created, right?
okay,
By
launch
default.
instance, and you will be able to successfully launch an EC2 instance. Okay, so
Right.
two mandatory stuff needed, which is belongs to completely networking segment, that is VPC and subnet.
Hmm.
But interestingly, guys, the EC2 instance which I launched right now, we cannot connect to this one. Okay, ଆମେ ୟାକୁ
Okay.
connect କରିପାରିବାନି, କାହିଁକି? Because if
ଭାଇ
you look at the
ମାନେ
VPC,
ଗୋଟେ VPC ଭିତରେ ମାନେ ଆମେ କେତେଟା EC2 ମେସିନ୍ ବନେଇ ପାରିବା?
ଗୋଟେ VPC ଭିତରେ ଆମେ ବନଉନାହାନ୍ତି, ବେସିକାଲି କୋଉଠି ବନଉ, let me for today's guys, that's all. Okay, let me stop the recording, and in next class we are going to discuss further more details on this. Okay,
Okay.
one second.